I think why screens are so exciting for everybody and everybody rants about it is because we're new to our virtual identity. You know, we're ourselves in non-virtual world and we're different in the virtual world, and it's all new to us, so people rant. And I love talking to people about it because we don't quite know how dangerous it is or how great it is. I mean, it's a really complicated topic. For teens who we're predominantly talking about, they have used their screens in a very different way than we have. Because they're on gaming devices and social media platforms so young, they have virtual identities that we can't really relate to. So the way I tell my parents in my practice is I often tell them, you know, you have to be a parent of your non-virtual kid, but you also have to be a parent of your virtual kid. So in my practice, I see families that are lost behind their screens. I mean, families just like yours and mine. And it's the reason I love my job is because I get to see people move from being distant, lonely, depressed, and sad to connected and have fun again and still have screen time. They don't have to do without it. Last week I was on the radio and we interviewed for an hour, and the guy was throwing every topic known to man at me. And because I've studied this for so long, I mean, I have the book knowledge of a university professor, the clinical knowledge of a psychologist, but I'm also a mom and like a person that likes screens. So, I mean, so many topics came up in that hour. And the one thing that made me feel really good about that interview is he said, you know, it is so clear to us you're really happy with your job, like you love your job. And I do, because in clinical practice, I get to treat people who have suffered from digital injury and see them get better. But in presentations like keynotes and radio and TV, I get to help people prevent those digital injuries, which is really important. When we made a mistake, the only people there to see it was our brothers and sisters and our neighbors. Maybe a parent or two. When they make a mistake, it's in front of thousands of followers. And then they share it with thousands of followers. And so sometimes those split-second errors that are developmentally appropriate for teenagers and kids follows them. A lot of adults are resistant to talk about screens because they don't want to go off of them. And I don't really ask them to go off of them. I just ask them to change things up. So they end up sometimes coming in a little worried, but they leave feeling empowered and great. And by the way, adults don't have to behave the same way kids do. You know, our brains are developed. We can anticipate consequence. I'm not for the parents have to follow the same rules as the kids because the brains are different. You know, we're capable of different things. So I don't restrict people's use of screens. I recommend empowerment, just getting better control and better balance.